I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to the Operation Freedom Health and Wellness series. Dr. Peter Glidden and I, one of the top naturopathic physicians, not just in our country but the world, and I, Dave Janda, an MD, have been doing something for the past 4 years that big pharma, big medicine, the medical industrial complex, if you will, despises. You see, the essence of what we do in these presentations is provide you information to empower yourself in your own body's ability, to focus on your own body's ability to heal itself, to enhance wellness, but not rely on big pharma, your docs, your hospitals, your insurance companies. No, it's about you and you utilizing the power of your own body with the support of the appropriate nutritional support to obtain health and wellness. This should not be unique. There is no other series that involves an ND, a naturopathic physician, and an MD, an allopathic physician, putting information on the table for you to empower you. And this is precisely the reason why this platform has been targeted by those globalist cult syndicate players. Because they talk the talk about you being healthy, about wellness. I have to be very careful in the words I choose on this platform, but I will tell you this. If the past 3 years is not an indication of what they really want for you, there is nothing I can say or Dr. Glidden could say to convince you otherwise. Early in the process, we provided you information so that you could avoid many of the booby traps, and that's actually being diplomatic, the booby traps that the medical industrial complex were putting in your way to put you in harm's way over the past 3 years. Today we're going to talk about an issue that is, if you go to your physician's office and ask them about the importance of detoxifying, they're going to look at you cross-eyed. And one of the reasons they're going to look at you cross-eyed is, as an MD, I can tell you, here is how much training I had in 4 years of medical school in detoxification issues. 0. So this is why having Dr. Glidden with us from drglidden.com and our underlying website, operationfreedomhealth.com, and full disclosure, the products discussed are available at operationfreedomhealth.com. And support of our platform does allow these presentations to continue. Dr. Glidden, as I mentioned, is one of the top naturopathic physicians in our country, if not the world. He is also a fantastic researcher, fantastic clinician, and a fantastic author. I encourage you to get his books, Everybody is Sick and I Know Why, and Attempt to Cure with Holistic Medicine, both available on Amazon, but also on his website, drglidden, glidden.com. It's my honor to welcome back Dr. Peter Glidden. Pete, welcome back.
Dave, it's always a pleasure to be with you because you continue to be the man. And, you know, it's just not the last 3 years. The last 3 years of all of the misdirection that we've been subject to medically is, as far as I'm concerned, the tip of the iceberg. Mm-hmm. Because we haven't had a free medical market since 1912, when the Congress granted the American Medical Association exclusive control over the development and the delivery of medicine and passed laws that stipulate that the only thing that can legally treat a disease is a drug. I mean, who died and made the FDA king, for goodness sakes? There's lots of different types of medicine in the world, but the only medicine that's legal, the only medicine that's allowed to the governmental table, the only medicine involved in a public health discourse is pharmaceutical medicine, you know, which is great for certain things, right? And while this monopoly has been in place, we are getting sicker.
Yes, very true.
Chronic disease is escalating.
Mm-hmm.
Autism through the roof, Alzheimer's through the roof, from cradle to grave now. It's a nanny state.
Mm-hmm.
We're not getting healthier, we're getting sicker because the conventional medical model does not train its physicians to practice healthcare. They train its physicians to practice disease management. It's sick care. So nothing is cured. The heartburn isn't cured. The high blood pressure isn't cured. The anxiety isn't cured. The depression isn't cured. The arthritis isn't cured. Nothing is cured. It's managed. And as you are under the management through pharmaceuticals, you get weaker and more dependent on the drugs, and sicker and weaker and more dependent on the drugs. Then the last 10 years of your life, it's a revolving door to the emergency room. And that's great for the hospitals. It's great for the medical industrial complex, not so great for you. And toxicity is a really big component of the reason that people are sick. And, you know, for goodness sakes, this is like, you know, orange is the new black, whatever. Sickness is the new health. And that's why the title of my first book was Everybody is Sick. And I know why. It's not because of genes. You have a bad gene. It's because your medical doctor is not trained in how to make you healthy. And your medical doctor is the only person that you have access to. You know, it's like saying the only people that can make beer in the United States is Anheuser-Busch. Well, that's probably not a good idea.
No.
But that's exactly what we have in medicine. But it's been in place for so long that everybody just is used to it, and they think that that's the way that it is. Everybody thinks that the older that they get, the sicker that they can get, because look around, that's what happens to everyone. And the only reason that happens to everyone is because everybody is using the wrong type of medicine. I mean, I'm 64. I'll ring my own bell here. I'm not on any prescription meds, and my blood work is perfect. And you should take a look at my brothers. It's not because of good genetics. It's because I employ strategies to support and promote my body's built-in God-given ability to fix itself. And that's what naturopathic doctors do. And that's what everybody in the world needs to know about yesterday.
So Pete, many people believe when you talk about detoxifying, many people believe, well, that's kind of a nebulous situation. There's nothing you can really do to detoxify your system, your body. That's completely false. And educate our listeners on the steps they can take and why it's so important that they take those steps.
So there are three fundamental legs upon which human health rests, the optimization of human health rests. Three fundamental legs. Leg number one, you have to stop eating food that's hurting the body. You have to stop putting diesel fuel into an unleaded engine. If you continue to do that, no matter what else you do, it's going to be 2 steps forward and 2 steps backward. You're not going to get anywhere because you're all of the time consuming food that has net negative results. And, you know, these are like the straws that broke the camel's back. These are the 12 bad foods, which you can find for free, by the way, at operationfreedomhealth.com.
Upper right-hand corner of the homepage. Video.
It's number one, clean your diet up. Stop eating food that's hurting you. Number two, you got to give your body the raw materials that it needs. You got to fill your body's nutritional tank up on a regular basis with 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 fatty acids, which are essential to human health. Essential means your body needs it but cannot make it. The problem is these nutrients are declining in the food that we eat dramatically. We've known this since the 1930s, by the way. So there is a direct relationship between the lack of nutrients in the food and therefore by extrapolation in the body and the acceleration of chronic disease. Because your body needs these things to maintain itself. I mean, if your car runs out of engine oil, the engine seizes. Nothing wrong with the engine. The metal's good, the pistons are good, the welds are good, the seals are good, spark plugs are good, didn't have any oil. It's the same with the human body. You need nutrients. They're not in the food, so you got to fill that tank up.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that with the Healthy Foundation Pack, which you can get at Operation Freedom Health, the sale of which supports Dave's platform, and bravo for that, because somebody has to. And I've been doing this for 34 years, right? Not all nutritional supplements are created equal.
Mm-mm.
These nutritional supplements are the most effective clinically of anything that I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot. I mean, for goodness sakes, I worked for a nutraceutical vitamin company for 3 years after I graduated medical school. I know what goes on behind the scenes in vitamin companies, and your head would explode if I told you. Not all supplements are created equally. Supplements are like wine. They're all made from grapes. All wine is made from grapes, but there's a pretty big difference from bottle to bottle. So if you're going to spend hard-earned money because your medical insurance won't pay for it, oh, by the way, that was done on purpose. Mm-hmm. Ever wonder about that? Why your medical insurance doesn't pay for nutritional supplements? You'd think it would. Mm-hmm. If we were actually concerned with health care. So you have to pay out-of-pocket money for it. And so you better get the right stuff, or you might as well just burn a $20 bill, for goodness sakes. You need to know what's what, and that's what my profession specializes in, and that's why you should lean on me in this regard. And the third thing that we don't talk about very much, because it's somewhat a complicated process, but it's important to understand and at least have rudimentary knowledge of it. You must remove the toxic burden from inside your body. And I'm talking about exogenous chemicals like crap in the air, crap in the food, crap in the water that finds its way into the body and stays there. Because when that stuff enters the body sticks it away in fatty tissue, most of it, to get it out of the general circulation, because it's bad. So our bodies are loaded with toxic chemicals, loaded with hazardous toxic chemicals, things like DDT. It's bad, and it's measurable, and it's not a fantasy. This is real science, real stuff. It's in there, and it's gumming up the works. So, ultimately, look, surgery is complicated. Yeah. You better know your way around the body. You better know your anatomy inside and out before you pick up a scalpel. Mm-hmm. Surgery is complicated. But healing the body is really pretty simple and pretty straightforward and pretty much common sense. It would be a good idea, don't you think, to remove the toxic burden from the body? You think that's going to help you, or you think that's going to hurt you? Well, it's going to help you. Mm-hmm. You need to get that crap out. You need to fill your body's nutritional tank up, and you need to stop eating food that's hurting you. 3 things. Fundamental, primary 3 things to do. So how do we remove toxins from the body? Well, in this case, it's a 2-for-1. Because when you supply your body with the essential nutrients that it needs, and you've reduced dramatically the amount of inflammation that your body has to fight, because you've cleaned your diet up, your body has nutrients and energy in reserve. And guess what it uses those to do?
Helps the detoxification process.
Clean the house. 100%. So the fundamental first step to take to start to get this stuff out of your body is the first 2 steps. Eliminate the 12 bad foods, nutrify your body on a regular basis. And then we have other protocols that you can do for 3 weeks at a time, for 2 months at a time, with the use of botanical medicines, like the good herbs, liver and gallbladder support, like extra selenium, like extra plant minerals, like sitting in a sauna for 15 minutes a day. And before you go into the sauna, you drink an ounce of the plant minerals. And after you come out of the sauna, you drink an ounce of the plant minerals. And by the way, we're not fans of the far infrared saunas. We're fans of the old-fashioned, Swedish and Finnish saunas that are wood-fired or coal-fired, or they're heated, by something other than an electrical infrared device. It's people. There have been toxicologists. There's an entire subset of allopathic medicine, by the way, has devoted itself to this. It's called the Institute for Environmental Medicine, I believe. And they certify doctors in how to help detoxify their patients. There's all kinds of strategies that you can use, some of which involve prescription drugs, some of which involve nutrients, and simple things like sitting in a sauna. So these are the things that people need to learn how to do. And you don't need a private appointment with a holistic doctor or a doctor specializing in toxicity to start this ball rolling. You don't. You just need to do a few simple things. And I just lined them up for you. There's much more information at drglidden.com. There's much more information at operationfreedomhealth.com. But these are real strategies that you should undertake at home starting yesterday. Because when you do clean things up and move things out and strengthen your body with the nutrients, a lot of things start to change for the better. And, the proof of the pudding is in the eating here. The only reason that my profession continues to exist inside such a hostile, monopoly
is there success.
Because we get people better, and not all the time, but frequently. And that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. I have a colleague in Montreal, Canada. He is probably the most, what's the word? Talented and results-oriented naturopathic physician in the world. He specializes in homeopathic medicine. That's all that he does, is homeopathy. He's treated over 500 cases of multiple sclerosis successfully. Over 500 cases. But you don't hear about him in the mainstream.
No, of course not.
And, the organizations that raise money for things like cystic fibrosis and MS, they're not going to talk to people like me or him. Because, again, the medical system, which is at large here in the industrialized nations of the world, is not concerned with making you healthy. It's concerned with keeping you sick, because a patient cured is a customer lost, and you can take that to the bank.
So, folks, you can follow our information and more information on this topic at operationfreedomhealth.com and Dr. Glidden, GLIDDEN.com. Pete has the protocols, the detoxification protocols there as well. His books are also present there. Attempt to Cure, or Everybody's Sick and I Know Why, and Attempt to Cure with Holistic Medicine. And we are available 24/7 on this platform. We have a tremendous amount of information as well on operationfreedomhealth.com. Pete, I'd like to thank you for everything you have done, are doing, and will do. I thank you because there is no one else who is doing the work that you're doing on making people healthier and to preserve and enhance their wellness. And I thank you folks for joining us. I hope you'll take this video, not just watch it, but take it and circulate it amongst friends and family so that they can benefit from the information provided, and encourage them to look at our other videos we've done over the past 4 years. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.